Hi Nana. See, today we will learn about the naming of elements. See, actually, there are how many elements so far? 118 elements. Every element is having its own name. Every element is given a definite name. So the names are given to the elements based on the source, or else based on the planets names, or else based on the scientist names, or else based on the universities or the laboratories, and so on. Even the some of the elements are given the names based on the country name and so on. Okay, so there are every element it have a definite name, and every element will have its own symbol. So the name of the symbol, it is derived from either English name or Latin name or German name. Okay, so in lower classes we have learnt about the symbols of different elements, the Latin symbol, the German symbol. So actually element wolfram, the name tungsten. So tungsten, the element tungsten, the name of the element tungsten. So it is called as wolfram. So German name is given to that element tungsten. Tungsten. Okay, its symbol is W. The symbol is derived from the German name of that element. So wolfram. So like that, so many elements, the symbols of so many elements are derived from their Latin names, and almost many elements symbols are derived from their English name. Okay, see, actually the opportunity to give the name to the given elements, so it depends. Actually, the scientist, or else the one who discovers that element will have the opportunity to suggest a name to that element. Okay, that means the discoverer will have the discoverer is eligible to suggest a name to that discovered element, and that name should be approved by IUPAC. IUPAC means International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So only after the approval of the name by this society, or else this organization, then only that name should be used to that element. Otherwise, that name, it is not it should not be used to that element. So only after the approval from the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry only we have to use the that name to the given element. Okay, right. See, now we will learn about the naming of elements which were discovered recently. Okay, that means naming, nomenclature. Nomenclature means nomenclature. Nomenclature means naming. So nomenclature of elements, okay, whose atomic number is above 100. So we will learn about the nomenclature of elements whose atomic number is above 100. So before going to learn about the naming of elements having whose atomic number is above 100, so we will learn some points like transuranic elements. What are transuranic elements? The elements which come after the atomic number 92. Uranium. So what is the atomic number of uranium? 92. So after uranium, all the elements which come after uranium are said to be transuranic elements or transuranium elements also. We can call as transuranium elements. Okay, so transuranic elements are elements after atomic number is equal to 92. After atomic number, so is 92. That means from 93 onwards. From atomic number equal to 93 onwards. From Z is equal to 93 onwards, all the elements are said to be transuranic elements or else transuranium elements. Right. There is another term known as transactinides. Transactinides. What are transactinides? So elements after actinium series. Elements after actinium series. So actinium series. Actinium series means, so it starts from atomic number 90 thorium to atomic number 103. So actinium series. So elements after this series, that means starting from atomic number 104 onwards and above, from atomic number 104 and above, okay, and above, those elements, all the elements are said to be transactinides. Transactinides are also called as super heavy elements. Transactinides are super heavy elements. They are synthetic. They are also called as synthetic elements or man-made elements. That means those elements, the elements after 100 or else after 104, so those elements are said to be, actually all the elements after 92 are man-made elements only. All elements after atomic number 92 are man-made elements only. Okay. They are also called as synthetic elements or man-made elements. Okay. So now let us see few more points. What are man-made elements and how these elements are prepared? Synthetic elements are said to be synthetic elements or man-made elements. So here the synthetic elements are prepared with the help of binuclear reactions. A special type of reactions known as binuclear reactions. So what are binuclear reactions? So in these reactions, the nuclei of lighter elements, they were forcibly joined, or else. So here what happens? These two positive nucleus must be fused together against the electrical repulsion. So this is positive charge and even this is also positive charge. So we have to fuse these two. Fuse means to join. Here the process of fusing of two positive nucleus, okay, and to prepare large nuclei. So here what happens? So here there is electrical repulsion because this is positive charged nuclei and this is also positive charged nuclei. So in order to fuse the two lighter nucleus and to prepare larger nucleus, so it requires more there is more repulsion between them. So against the force of repulsion, these two nucleus are fused to form a larger nuclei. So that type of reactions are said to be binuclear reactions. So it is not so easy. Hence we have to take the help of nuclear accelerators. Nuclear accelerators helps. Nuclear accelerators are special type of equipments, so they helps to join or else to fuse the two lighter nucleus and to prepare the heavy nucleus. Okay, so such nucleus or else such element, the newly formed element is said to be synthetic element. So in this way elements are prepared by man, hence they are called as man-made elements. So which type of reactions helps in the synthesis of new elements or heavy elements? So here binuclear reactions helps us. And what device helps us to join the nucleus of lighter nucleus? So nuclear accelerators helps us to join the lighter nucleus to make a new element, a large element, a synthetic element. Okay, so like this, so the synthetic elements are prepared. So the elements which come after uranium, all the elements are said to be synthetic elements. Okay, so in this way elements can be prepared, heavy elements can be prepared. See, actually two groups are working in the in the world, entire world. Two groups are working for the preparation of new, for the synthesis of elements. What are those two groups? One group of scientists, they are located in California. Okay, in California, USA, and another group of scientists, they are present in Russia. So in Dubna. Okay, actually the place known as Dubna. Okay, near Moscow. This the place Dubna is present. So it is actually present in Russia. It belongs to Russia. So these two groups, they are working for the preparation of for the synthesis of new elements. Okay, see, actually all the elements after their discovery, those elements should be given a particular name. Newly discovered element should be given a particular name. So who will get the opportunity to name that element? Only the discoverer of that element will get the opportunity to name that newly discovered element. Okay, so here sometimes what happens, so this group may discover a new element, or else this group also may discover new element. Suppose if in certain cases there are disputes also, because there is always competition. Okay, there is always competition between the groups. Okay, so due to this competitive spirit, so disputes will arise. Okay, for example, both American and Russian scientists, they claimed the credit for the discovery of an element. So one element was discovered actually whose atomic number is 104. So when this element was discovered, so this Californian scientists, they claimed that this element was discovered by us, hence we will give a name to this element, and they have given the name Rutherfordium. The name Rutherfordium was given to the element with atomic number 104. At the same time, even these scientists, they are also claiming that this element was discovered by us, hence we will give the name, and they have given a name known as Kurchatavium. So now these two group of scientists, they started fighting to give their own name, but so here there is a conflict developed to give the name of this element. So at that time, IUPAC said that don't worry, so we will investigate and find out this element was discovered by which group. IUPAC said that, so we will investigate and we will find which group has discovered this element, and for temporarily or else for a time being, this IUPAC, they have suggested a particular type of naming known as IUPAC naming. So temporarily IUPAC naming. We will give IUPAC naming to this element, and we will call that element by this naming only for time being, for temporarily, till the discoverer, investigation of the discoverer, till until the fact who discovered the element was known. So until then we will use IUPAC naming only, they said. And IUPAC people, they have given a name to this one, to this element known as nil quadium. Nil quadium. So how this name was given to this element? So the name was and this name is said to be IUPAC naming, or else IUPAC name. See, the IUPAC name, it is based on, this is most important. So in competitive exam they are asking this question. IUPAC name is based on what? It is based on the atomic number. So IUPAC name is based on atomic number. IUPAC name of element. IUPAC name of element is based on atomic number. Okay, so here these IUPAC people, they have given some numerical roots for the 3-digit number, because so here for the elements above 100 only, because these are the recently discovered elements. So for these elements, so IUPAC have suggested numerical roots for the 3 digits, okay, in the atomic number. So now we learn the names or their numerical roots. Okay, so now there is we learn a table which helps us to give the IUPAC naming to the newly discovered element temporarily. Okay, for example, we have to use this table. So digit, if digit is 0, then we have to use the name nil, and it is abbreviated as n. If digit is 1, then the name is and it is abbreviated as u. If it is 2, the name is by, it is abbreviated as b. If it is 3, the name is tri, it is abbreviated as t. If you for 4, it is called as quad. It is called quad and is denoted by q. If for 5, it is pent. Okay, so it is denoted by p. For 6, it is hex. It is denoted by h. Okay, for 7, it is denoted as sept s. For 8, it is denoted as oct, o. For 9, okay, it is denoted. The name is given as n. For 9, it is n. Okay, and it is given as e. So these are said to be numerical roots. Name is given based on the numerical roots. So that means roots means they are derived from numeric values. So from numerical values, these names were derived. Hence they are called as numerical roots. Every numerical root has a symbol. So like this, it is abbreviated, and it is given a symbol like this. So in here, how to use this table? For example, for element whose atomic number is 100. So what is how the name is given to this element? So IUPAC says that, so this element is called as what are the digits present in this name, this atomic number? So 100. So order of digits is 100. Hence for 1 it is un. So un. For 1 it is un. For 0 it is nil. And for another 0, another nil. Okay. So here the name should be written based on the atomic number and the digits present in that atomic number. So they should be given the names by following the numerical roots. Okay. So the numerical root for 1 is un, the numerical root for 0 is nil, and the numerical root for another 0 is also another nil. So now at the end of this name, this name should be ended with the suffix known as ium, ium, annilnilium. So the name of this one is said to be annilnilium. Annilnilium. So the element whose atomic number is 100 is named as annilnilium. So temporarily this name is given. So for time being, okay, and later on IUPAC will give a permanent name also. So after after finding the actual discoverer of the element, so that name will be suggested by that group of people. Okay, so for this is called as a temporary naming for that element, or else IUPAC name for that element. So